You know, often when you're sitting around the house with your friends and family, maybe a holiday, and you're talking about superheroes, and sooner or later somebody will say, well, I hope superhero A uses his powers for good, not evil.
Yes.
That's always how that conversation ends. I
Yeah.
feel the same way about Taylor Swift, because in the galaxy, no bigger person, personality, performer, music talent than Taylor Swift, and has established that at such a high level. And she is using her powers only for good. And I am so happy that she was on our show years and years and years ago and continues to be top flight entertainment, but using her superpowers for good, not evil. And that makes me feel great.
What can you add to that?
What did you think of her? Did she
That's what's
perform on the show?
Yeah, she performed a few times. She's just terrific on every level and knows what her audience wants and gives it to them in spades.
Yes, lucky to occupy a small space on her CV. Here's Taylor Swift.
You know who's on the program? One of our guests, Taylor Swift. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a huge... And I don't know if I'm telling secrets out of school here, but it's kind of like an inside show business kind of a deal, and I'll pass it on to you. And if there's trouble, we'll be sure and cut it out before the rest of the country sees it.
Okay.
And the last thing I want is to start trouble.
You don't want to.
Some of the songs that she writes are about, allegedly, about relationships she's had with guys.
Really? Ah.
I'm pleased to hear that the new CD contains a song about...
You are... She wrote about you?
Yep. Right there.
You're pleased to hear it. Really? What is it?
It's called Guess Again, Dumbass.
Guess again, dumbass. Well, you must be.
Huh?
No wonder you're so thrilled.
Yeah.
To see that on the back
Yeah.
of an album. Yeah.
Oh, am I ever?
And I hear the music is good too.
Yeah, thank you. When you have like a new CD and stuff like that, you're just a kid, by the way, aren't you? Can I ask? Yeah, I better not. How old are you?
20.
20.
Yeah.
You're 20 years old. So when you won the Grammy for the album of the year, how old were you then?
I was 20.
I see. Yeah. When was that? A couple of years ago? But now that you have the music, and how long does it take you to write enough stuff to put on a CD?
It took about 2 years. For me, one of the things I'm really proud about this CD, I wrote it by myself without any co-writers. So for 2 years, I was living life, and I kind of write in real time. Like I write these moments in time. The songs are written when I'm feeling what it is I'm discussing in the song. So it's all sort of done when it's happening.
Right. And was I right when I alluded to the biographical nature of some of the romantic circumstances depicted in the song?
Yeah.
Now, I wonder sometimes if that would be a deterrent, if maybe a guy would say, boy, I don't want a song written about me. Maybe I'll, you know what I mean? Maybe that'll, does that ever come up?
Yeah, but you know, like this is the third album that I've been doing this.
Right.
So they had fair warning at this point.
Do you travel around the world now because of the CD and stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely. We travel all over the world, and this is actually the first international release where the CD's released everywhere. And so I've been all over the place recently, like Italy and France and Japan and England. And
now we know what a big star you are in the United States and North America. Is it comparable in all of these other countries?
It's really fun in other countries. I love the fans there, and we get to play arenas, and it's really wonderful. And sometimes, I mean, it's interesting because you go over there and they don't speak the same language as you. So I always try to sort of like adapt myself a little bit by learning a few phrases
Right.
and whatever language.
I think that's a great thing to do.
Well, sometimes it fails miserably, but like, but when I'm in Japan, like I just speak in in Japanese the entire show.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I don't sing in Japanese, but I speak in Japanese.
You can actually, you're conversant in Japanese to get through like a 90-minute concert in Japan?
Well, I mean, you just memorize some of it. You figure out what it means.
Well, like
say.
what do you say?
Like you go like, "Tanoshine Osaka," and then you go like, "Arigatou gozaimasu," and "Nippon daisuki," "Nippon saiko," and "Kawaii." Like.
Wow. What did you say?
First I said, "Are you having fun, Osaka?" Then I said, "I love Japan." Then I said, "Japan is awesome." And then I said, "Cute."
Well. Are fans in Japan more reserved than they are in other parts of the world?
No, they're awesome.
They go crazy?
Yeah. They're amazing. It's so cool. Like, I love all the crowds from other places, and I really love it when people get really emotional. Like, because I'm a really emotional person. I get very excited very easily. And so when, like, people come up to me and start crying, I don't know why I like that. It's cool.
Yeah. They're crying because they can't believe that they're standing right in front of you. And
I hope that's why.
Yeah, yeah. Not like you're standing on their foot.
Yeah.
You have no free time because you're writing and traveling. And do you have free time? If you had free time, what would you do?
Well, I have this like nature phase thing right now. I really like walking in nature and being outside. I'm a very seasonal person right now. I love fall, and I love the fact that it's about to be winter and then it's about to be Christmas. So.
But I know what this is about. You grew up on a Christmas tree farm, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where is that? Like where? Upstate New York? Just a guess?
That was in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I grew up on a Christmas tree farm, and I figured there are two ways that can go as far as forming who you're going to be in life. I mean, you can either be like, you end up being the person who like rolls their eyes at Christmas and is like, oh, I've had so much Christmas that I don't care about Christmas anymore. Is it really Christmas now? Or you can be like really obnoxious Christmas sweater gingerbread cookie girl.
Why not?
Raise your hand if you're her.
Yeah, why not? Will this be your first presidential election or your second?
My second. The first one I was 18.
18, yeah. Are you excited about the election?
Yeah, definitely.
Going to vote?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you pleased with the possibilities?
I mean, for me, I feel like at 22, it's my right to vote, but it's not my right to tell other people what to do.
Right there, sister.
Thank
Come on, come on, come on. But as you grow older, you'll realize that the dumb people around you are growing in number. And so you'll have to tell them what to do. Look at this. Here you are on the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. And this is where you had the car crash. You had 2 car crashes in one day.
Yeah, you know.
Do you have a license?
I do, actually.
Where did the car crashes take place?
Well, we were in Nashville, and what they do for these magazine shoots is they send a journalist to you to spend time with you. And this was my first day with this journalist named Brian, who's such a good writer that I was like really nervous and I wanted everything to go well. And I was like cleaning my apartment and just like cleaning my car and I'm just like making sure that things were neat and clean. And so he comes to sound check. We're rehearsing for some of the shows that we're doing, like yours, because we're performing tonight.
Oh, God bless you. You rehearsed for this show.
We did.
Thank you. A lot of people don't rehearse for the show.
Yeah. So we're there, we're rehearsing, and he comes to rehearsal, and he's listening, and he goes, all right, so we're going to go to the restaurant, and we're going to talk there. And I had picked this fancy restaurant that I don't usually really go to that much, but I wanted to
make a good impression.
Yeah, look sophisticated or something.
Sure.
And so I didn't know where the restaurant was. So he goes, first of all, do you want to ride together or do you want to follow me? We take separate cars. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a really safe driver. And maybe he'll write about what a safe driver I am.
Okay, let me interrupt you right there. I don't care. I learned this not from journalists. I learned this from real estate agents. Always ride in separate cars. You don't want to be stuck with them any longer than you have to be. Secondly, you could be Mother Teresa behind the wheel, and they're never going to write about how safe you are. It's just not going to happen. So next time, let him drive his own car.
Okay,
All right.
I know that now.
Thank you.
So I was having to make a U-turn because I was going the wrong way, and
You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah, I know that now.
Yeah,
And I was trying to use the GPS in my car that I'd never used before, but I wanted to use it because he was in the car, and I wanted to seem like I knew how to use my
Right.
GPS.
You don't want to look like a dope because it's Brian, for God's sake.
I know.
Yeah.
And so I went to go make a U-turn, but I didn't have enough space to make a U-turn, so I backed up a tiny little bit, just like a little bit, and then just like.
Somebody hit you? You
Yeah,
hit somebody?
that's what that was. That's the sound of it.
Thanks.
And so I start freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he's
Right.
like, chill.
Chill.
You know, he's like, this is okay, it's fine, it's a fender bender, whatever. I turn around and it's my bass player. So that was
well,
when
there
the
you
day
go.
got better.
Yeah,
so.
because we know backup musicians have no insurance.
Mine do.
Oh, do they? Good,
Yeah.
good. So that's good. Nobody hurt. All right,
Nobody
so you
hurt.
got that out of your
Yeah.
system, but
That
it's
was the
Brian's
first out
fault
of
because
two.
you got this goon in your car breathing down your neck.
Yeah, but that was only the first one that we got.
Happened again?
Yes. There were 2 accidents in that day.
That day.
Yes.
All right, take us through the second one.
Okay. So I go, Amos, I'm so sorry. I'm good for it. I'll pay you, like whatever. And he's like, it's fine. And so then we go to the restaurant, and I'm all shaken up, and I'm stuttering like more than usual, and I'm just like, I couldn't believe I did that. And so we're leaving, and we're just sort of at the point where we can finally laugh about it. Oh my God, got in a car wreck.
Yeah.
Whoa! All of a sudden, this car that was like made out of bits of 5 other cars,
Yep.
and we were not in a good part of town. And it comes out, and it's like, and it's like, and then it hits the side of our car. It's like that, and all of a sudden, and like this time Brian's not like chill, calm down. He's
Yeah.
like, ah! And we're screaming.
Wow. See? My God. So,
Oh, but he did say, he said afterward, he said, you just saved my life with your defensive driving skills. And that didn't end up in the article, but he did say it.
see, didn't end up in the article, did it? No. But the fact that there were 2 wrecks in one day, did that end up in the article?
Yes, but he was delicate about it. He was very
Delicate
kind
about it.
About it. So
Well, good for
I
Brian.
was stoked. It was a really cool article, and I
Yeah.
was so happy to
Well,
be
how
on the
about this
cover
picture?
again.
Look at that. That's
Yeah.
gorgeous. Now, listen, oftentimes you get songs. You'll write songs about people in your life, friends who maybe are no longer in the same role previously in your life, and you'll write songs.
You're being
and,
very delicate
yeah.
about it. I like that.
and then people start, ooh, I wonder if this is. So what I would like now is if you could include me somehow in a song like that, that
Okay.
would be great.
All right. Well, yeah, we can definitely talk about that. You know, you are one of the coolest interviews.
Yeah, no, I know we're talking about it, but I would like it to happen, and so people, you know who the old guy she's talking about? It's Dave.
Well, I appreciate you being like wanting this to happen,
Yes.
because sometimes you'd be surprised the angry emails I get sometimes.
Well, I don't believe me. At my
Yeah.
age, I could care less. I just want
Yeah.
the song.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, make up anything you want.
But you wouldn't write me an email with the subject line being thoughts? You wouldn't do that? Good.
No. I would be delighted.
Okay. No emails afterward.
No. And it'll all be our
No
little.
interviews afterward.
It'll be
about
our
it.
little joke.
Okay.
You get it?
Awesome.
All right, come on.
Yay,
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that we've done this 3 times now.
That's good. You had a fight with Taylor Swift. Do I have this right?
No, I would have lost that.
It sounds preposterous. What are the...
Well, it started with my son was Mr. Golden Globe.
I remember you talking about that the last time you were here.
A prouder day I never had.
Mr. Golden Globe.
It was great, and he did a really great job. He was ushering people on and off to get their awards and presenters. Sidebar, one of his. The moment I said, "Do you enjoy it?" and he said, "Were you scared?" And he said, "The only time I was nervous was when I had to get Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger off the stage."
Oh, yeah.
But Amy Poehler and Tina Fey were hosting, and they made a joke. They said, "Taylor Swift, stay away from Michael J. Fox's son," which was funny and funny joke. And then I was at a cocktail party a couple weeks later, and about a week later, and someone asked me about it, and said, "Would your son go out with Taylor Swift?" And I didn't know Taylor Swift that well. I mean, my 12-year-old daughter is a big fan. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know. I didn't know. And I said, all I knew was that she wrote a song about a boyfriend she broke up with. So I said, well, I'll know if she dated Sam, because I'll hear a song, Sam Fox is a jerk, and I'll know
Right.
it
Didn't work out.
didn't work out.
Sure.
And hellfire rained down upon me.
Hellfire.
I had every
Wow.
tween girl in America was twittering me and tweeting me and were really angry. And I think my 12-year-old daughter turned me in.
She blew the whistle.
I
on
think
you.
she was in the closet with the phone. He's here. I got him here.
Wow.
He did it. So then I apologized profusely. I said to Taylor Swift, I didn't know whatever I can say to stick up to you, because I didn't know that it would cause such a big deal. And she forgave me, and she called off the pack. And so there's no.
He's had enough, boys.
I don't want.
Let him up.
I don't want to prolong it. I mean, it's all ended peaceably, and it was great. But don't piss off Taylor Swift.
No, don't do that. Listen, you know, we were getting ready to talk to you this afternoon, and we put up the video, I think last time you were here, and you did one of those internet shows after the show here?
Yes, the internet shows.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And you're in a red dress?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just stunning. I mean,
you.
beautiful. It sounded wonderful, and it was reminiscent of real show business. You know, they had everything you want in performance: glamour, lovely music, beautiful woman. It was great.
Thank you. Wow. It's an amazing compliment. I love the idea of show business. I love, making a big deal out of putting out an album and getting to dress up and the whole thing. It's amazing to be a songwriter and then to get to put on performances.
I was just told that the new album has already sold like 600,000 copies or something.
Yeah, in 24 hours.
In 24 hours.
Freaking out. I'm like always about a half step away from crying, like at any point.
And it's named 1989, and this is the other thing that why I'm about to cry. It's named 1989 because you were born in 1989.
Yeah.
Born in 1989.
Yeah.
I have ties
I knew
older
you were
than
gonna
you.
do this. I knew you were gonna make the tie joke.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got to. Well, I mean, things are great, aren't they? And you're in New York City, and you're like the official Welcome to New York kid. What do you do for New York? Is that, you get money for that, aren't you?
No, I don't get any money for it, but I have a song called Welcome to New York, and I recently moved to New York, and so the city named me the Welcome Ambassador for Tourism, which I thought was really nice of them.
Now, when you moved from where did you move?
I moved from Nashville to New York.
Nashville to New York, and you originally are from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Yeah. How long did you live in Nashville?
I lived in Nashville for 10 years.
Nice town?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Great music? Great musicians?
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible.
And now here you are in New York City, and you got a house, an apartment. Where you stay in the Y? What are you doing?
I have an apartment in Tribeca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm really excited about it.
Big place?
Yeah, it's nice. It's good. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those where you wake up and you're like, I live here, huh?
Yeah. How long have you been in the place?
I've been like obsessing over moving to New York for a year, but I didn't find the perfect place till like winter last year. And so I've been there ever since, and I had the most amazing summer here, and just all my friends are here now.
Now, two things on that. First of all, let's don't give people the wrong impression. There is no perfect place to live in New York City. Just get that right out of your heads. That ain't going to happen. Now, the other thing is, the first couple of days you wake up and, oh my God, here I am. I'm living in New York City. That's a nice feeling, isn't it?
It's an amazing feeling. And the thing is, like, as soon as I moved there, when I love something, I'm very, very vocal about it.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, so everywhere I would go.
Did you hear me talking about M&Ms? Exactly right. So you're really a cheerleader for New York now.
Yeah, anytime I talk to anyone or anytime I do an interview, I was just like, you don't understand. You have to go there now. You have to go to New York. Just drop what you're doing. You have to go there. It's amazing. It's the greatest place ever. And I think the city, like, I guess, picked up on that. And they're like, she's the most enthusiastic, obnoxious person to ever love New York. She loves it with like 18 exclamation points afterward, underlined.
But it's nice. It's
really nice.
New York City is flattered by your presence and your enthusiasm for the city itself.
That's good. I thank New York City.
I remember I tried to encourage you to write a snarky song about our relationship, but you... I don't remember hearing that. Do you still do that sort of thing?
I would never write a snarky song about our relationship. You're like my favorite person to talk to.
Oh, God bless her,
I
ladies
swear.
and gentlemen. It's very sweet.
I have this picture on my phone of us like pounding it, and it's like my favorite. It's saved to my phone, so you only have so much storage in your phone.
I kind of feel like when you come by, it's just to drop in on the elderly, see how they are.
So they can make jokes about how their ties are older than you. God.
But you don't do that anymore because it always ended up working the wrong way, didn't it?
I don't write snarky songs
about old
relationships?
boyfriends and stuff, lousy boyfriends.
Well, I mean, I just haven't really had any lousy boyfriends in the last year and a half.
Is it?
It's been good. It's been good.
No, I'm not. I've never dated guys.
Yeah.
But looking around, I would think it would be hard to find a decent guy because guys just generally are jerks.
I'm just not really looking around for them, at them, shopping. I'm not doing any of that. So
you know what? You and Lena Dunham are buddies now.
we are. My friends
How did that happen?
Well, actually, Lena, I was watching Girls when it first came out about 2 years ago, and I just thought she's so empowering. This person writes, directs, stars in this incredible show. And so I did what you do when you are interested in someone. I Googled her and went to her Twitter, and the first thing I saw was her quoting my lyrics. And at first I thought, she has to be doing that ironically. Like, she's clearly making fun of me because I have this big loser complex from school.
Oh, really?
But it turned out she was following me, and it was completely unironic, and she actually liked my music. And she direct messaged me, and she said, we need to be best friends. I feel like you've been my best friend in my head for months and almost years now, so I need to see you in person, and then I will lavish you with compliments in person.
Whoa.
And she did do that.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we've been best friends ever
There must
since.
have been a connection there, the transcendent of show business, because that's a pretty immediate, pretty urgent request to be buddies.
I think we both, since we're both writers first, she writes her show and I write my music, and everything we do stems from that creative process. We have a lot to relate to each other on, and we're also both way enthusiastic about everything.
Well, why not? Because if the world doesn't need a little enthusiasm, what does it need, for God's sake? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, here's another thing I used to do as well. You invite your fans to your home.
Did you really used to do that?
Just trying to make myself seem better person. But how does that work? How do you get selected?
Okay, so this was a thing that I thought of called the 1989 Secret Sessions. And what I decided was I want to play my entire new album for fans before it comes out, like months before it comes out.
Listening party.
It's a listening party. And so I decided just the most logical thing to do, it would just be to have them come over anywhere I had a house and just hang out in the living room and play them the album. And so
what was the screening process?
it was like,
how did one qualify to come sit in your living room?
well, it was like 89 people in each house that I have. So that was LA, New York, Rhode Island, Nashville, and then in my hotel room in London. But yeah, the screening process was like a girl taking a selfie and I can see she's got my poster in the background and she writes me a cute comment on Instagram. Or, you know, somebody saying, I've been to 5 shows, I've never met you before. None of these people who came to the secret sessions had ever met me. So I wanted to meet them in sort of a situation where they never felt rushed. They weren't waiting outside.
Did they
being
come?
pushed.
Were they? I mean, were their parents there? Was there security there?
If they were under 18, then they could bring their parents.
They could bring their parents,
which was hilarious.
Yeah, and this sounds great, but how do you get them out of there?
Well, we would spend it was like dinner, and then I'd play them the album, and I'd tell them stories.
You fixed them dinner?
You have to feed people at a party that's going to last 5 hours.
Oh my God!
But the coolest thing.
You are Mother Teresa.